Hey, this is Bert, and it's July 6th, and that means another Independence Day is come and gone, and it also means another big trip to the flea market. And today I'm going to share with you everything I found this week on
Low Skill Customs.
All right, first up, I got these three figures: Mercury, the Joker, and version of Thomas Wayne as Batman. And yes, I did have to look that up. I love this Joker figure. He's so creepy. Kind of looks like the old Kenner Joker, but like super creepy. My next deal of the day is this guy right here. Hasbro BoFette rifle that's been painted by somebody. Really well done. Really excited about it. You can tell it's Hasbro. You can just barely make out some of the words there on the on that little flat section of the gun. Funny story, I actually customized one of my own years ago. The only difference is, I added a lot of rust color to mine, and I might go and do that to this one. And then I plugged in all these little screw holes with I think some green stuff. So, other than that, they did a pretty awesome job. I'm pretty impressed with this. Next, I got the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi lunch boxes, classic boxes. You know, a bit rusty at the edges, but the main pictures are pretty good. I think that the stuff on the Gamorrean guard's face there is going to clean off. I'm trusting that this looks like just paper there. And I bought these because I like, when you have a lunchbox on display, you can only see one side. And so I wanted a second one of each of these guys, and I couldn't remember. I knew that I had one of them and two of the other, and I couldn't remember what was what. So for $10, I figured I'd buy them. And then I get home, and I realize I already had two of each of them. There they are up there. So, yeah, we'll see. I'll find someone that wants them. Also found at the same spot this sweet Lego set. Classic Adam West Batman, Cesar Romero Joker. Looks like a pretty fun set. Probably going to save that for someone's birthday. Next, I found this giant thing. I think somebody cleared out a Halloween store at some point when they were putting stuff on clearance, but because they had a bunch of these. I chose Yoda. There was a Darth Vader and a Stormtrooper. Come to find out, the Stormtrooper's worth a lot of money, but I bought this for myself. So then on the way back to the car with this thing, because I wasn't going to haul it around the whole time, I looked at the back of the box, and I would have much rather had Wicket. So I went back, but they did not have a Wicket one. I mean, just look at that, dude. Look at that. Oh, man. But anyways, this should be fun. I don't know if I'm waiting for Halloween to put it out. I thought I'd establish maybe like a little snack bowl on the way into the Star Wars room here. That same spot had a bag of wrestlers for $1. And I don't actually buy wrestlers for myself. I got a friend that I see once or twice a year who buys wrestlers, and I always like to have a few for them. And then the other reason I buy them is I buy them for guys that don't have super recognizable faces, okay? Like not this dude, and not John Cena, but these guys, I don't particularly know who they are. So if I figure if I don't know who they are, they'd make good background guys in my Lord of the Rings setup. Here's how. This fella right here is a Gondorian soldier. I did not buy this today at the flea market. He's crazy rare. And because of the fact that he's really rare, most of my Gondorian army is made up of Faramir's. So my plan is to swap out some of my Faramir's with different wrestlers. This guy looks generic enough. Maybe I'd have to sculpt the helmet on him or whatever, but I thought he'd work pretty good. And yeah, same with this dude. So that's why I buy wrestler figures, is for my one friend, and then also in hopes to replace some Faramir heads. And seriously, a bag of them for $1, you can't go wrong. Also, they tossed in a 12-inch scale R2-D2 for free. I think this goes with those, those super cheap 12-inch ones. But I gotta say, for that style of figure, they do R2-D2 right, man. This is really nice. Next, I ran into my friend Koki, and we were at the same exact spot. We fought for a little bit about who gets what. So we ended up buying a whole bunch of figures and decided we would hash it out later. And when the time came, I ended up with most of them. Mostly because he overspent on some other stuff. So here they are. I don't know if I've ever, I don't think I've ever made a video of this, but I'm like, Iron Man 2, they made so many toys for that toy line. So many different Iron Men, and I collect them all. So, figured at, I think they're $7 a pop, but I think they ended up giving me a deal on these Iron Men. Look at that War Machine, Titanium Man, Weapon Assault Drone. Also for $5 a pop, I got Thor's friends. I figure they're going to feature pretty heavily in Thor 4. Wait, what's that? They died unceremoniously in Thor 3? I should really watch that movie again. Must have happened fast for me to not remember it at all. Okay, and then finally I got some good old Black Series 3.75-inch figures, both for customization purposes. Got the guy down to $3.50 for Princess Leia here. Actually, I bought 2 of her and Pokey stole one. They tossed in a Spider-Woman for free here. I think she's even got her sunglasses somewhere in there. Maybe I lost them. They were there when I bought them. And then Retro Grief Karga for just $5. I kind of passed on this first wave of Mandalorian retro figures because they were a little too New Hope style for me and not Return of the Jedi style enough, if you know what I mean, just in terms of their details and handling of the outfits. I spent a little bit too much on a bunch of Star Wars figures. I think I thought there was better figures in there than there were. Oh, and for $1, the guy tossed in a Chitauri. He was in a bag of McDonald's garbage, so he was nice enough to separate him out for me. And look no further than this guy right here to prove to you that Hasbro's doing a lot better job with painting stuff nowadays. Whew. So thought I could use some of these guys for customs. We'll figure out something. I also got myself Grievous Starfighter for $20. Mostly bought it because it had a really nice version of Grievous, which I don't think actually came with it. I'm not even sure. This might be the vintage collection or the one right before it, but I thought that was a pretty sweet find. You know, wish he had the cape from the vintage collection, but, you know, you take what you get. Next up are my 2 biggest finds of the day. Number 1 would be this striped Gremlins figure. He's about, I don't know, 14, 15 inches tall here. And it goes perfectly with this figure I already had of Gizmo. I think they're designed to go together, although I was kind of surprised. Only his head is kind of rubbery, whereas Gizmo, the whole deal is kind of rubbery. But yeah, they're both made by LJN. But the stripe is a lot harder to find. I found out by looking it up a little bit. I showed my mom her first comment to me when she sees it, because my mom still lives in the 1980s. The first thing she says is, "Well, I hope you didn't spend that much on it." And yes, I did not spend that much on it. I got a little deal from the guy. He was just being nice. I didn't even try. But yeah, this is a pretty sweet figure here. Next up, in the midst of some Thomas the Tank Engine toys and some stuffed animals, I found this guy, who I think they thought was just some random T-Rex figure. It happens to be, actually, if you don't know already, a T-Rex from Masters of the Universe. Doesn't have any of his little accessories. It would have been great to have the gun there. But the back flap is a pretty nice find. Just $4. Which, you know, if this was just some stupid plastic T-Rex, I think would have been a ripoff. But knowing what it was, thought that was a pretty decent deal. My board game enthusiast kids got Battleground, crossbows and catapults, opened but never used. Pretty good find right there for $10. And then digging through some toy bins. You know, sometimes that works out and sometimes it's just a waste of time. But I found these guys. Actually, my bro Nipper found this guy for me, Star-Lord, for $2. Found this guy. Actually, this guy was from a dealer, but I still thought he was pretty sweet. Chaos Effect Jurassic Park dude for $5 here. And then for 50 cents, and you know, a 2 for $1 bin, I got this cool looking wolf thing. Turns out it's actually from Rampage. Remember that movie? I don't either. I never saw it. I loved the video game when I was a kid, though. Perhaps if the previews had showed giant animals reaching into windows and grabbing people and eating them, then I'd been on board, but it didn't, so I never saw it. Then, finally, one of the greatest play sets of all time, in my opinion. We use this was like whenever you wanted like the everyday house. There was also a cave and a sewage treatment plant or whatever. You got the Wayne Manor from Batman. Now, as a kid, I had one I was pretty sure was a Batman Returns toy. Maybe I could be wrong, but this is quite clearly the Batman animated series. It's got a lot of pieces, not everything, but I don't think I ever as a kid had this piece to it. And then actually I got not one, but two. I've never seen this deco for it. Purple stripes for, you know, when Batman was in the purple zebra phase of his career. I think there was, you know, I'm guessing in the 60s or maybe the 90s with Zubaz. Batman decided to go all Zubaz. But here we go. And look, not only do I have that, the garage door, but it's got the secret clock door too, which I know I never had. And look, a railing. Whenever I played with this thing as a kid, my figures fell right off that little platform because there was no railing. Well, that wraps things up. That was the last find this year at the July Flea Market. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know you enjoyed it by leaving some comments down below, liking, subscribing, all that some fun stuff. I do all sorts of random videos all about toys. So that's the best way to find out when they come out, because I gotta admit, I'm pretty random when I release these things. So I got a couple more in the works right now, and I'm looking forward to dishing those out to you. So stay tuned. Bye.